before we end ASMT, I still have a few other things to say. But first I'm going to read this post written by Wareng, called, "Would it kill you guys to make some fucking easy levels?" Written by Wareng, on the 26th of September, 2010. We have this link. Then we have a picture of Kesha, or as I like to call her, the slut with a dollar sign in her name. Dancing at my house. Dancing mood. Fuck you, Raocow. Dancing 2. Ready to go by Republica. Jesus H. Christ! Could they possibly make this hack any harder? Seriously, I've played Kaizo hacks that were easier than this thing. All those ASM mods, and none of the hack makers could be asked to make easy levels. I quite frequently, from World 3 on, found myself using slowdown and even going into lunar magic and altering the levels just to make the damn thing playable. Another thing, for some reason, on almost every single level, whenever I entered a pipe or door, no music would play in the next area, even if went to the same level. Also, your boss at level, the castle that goes up and down, crashed the game. I had to go and replace it with Wendy O. Koopa. That's weird. The boss didn't crash for me. I was perfectly fine. Giant ice cubes is where I finally got off the moving bus, making this the second hack I've ever reviewed that I've never finished. Dotted Boy, now known as Dotted Girls, The Underworld, is the first. The level was just too hard for me to continue. It really sickens me how hacks like this get featured while my Bowser's Grudge didn't even so much as get a pass for extremely pedantic reasons, and how people like Raocow bitch at me for daring to question the authority of the hack mods. Oh, and Metal Gear Hunter's Hunter Revenger Charge, which keeps getting rejected every time he uploads it, is just as hard, yet actually has something to justify me continuing to play it. More plot! I mean, it's the fucking Devious 4 Chronicles, for God's sake! Oh, his hack also has that Toho song, You and Owen Was Her, or whatever it's called. Apparently, this hack got a free pass because it's Raocow, and White Yoshi Egg-a-mod here, who was also a member of that forum, uploaded it. And now, here's where I sort of disagree. Everything else he said makes perfect sense, like, seriously, would it kill these people to make easier levels than what they've made? And then, also, this guy just attacks Raocow, saying, "Raocow sucks. I find him overrated as shit. His eccentricities make his Let's Plays hard for me to follow, and his voice is about as pleasing on my ears as Emily Proctor's. Fuck him. Honestly, if you badmouth Raocow, you're gonna have to go through me. How dare you say that about Raocow, you lifeless fat sack of crap? Raocow for fucking ever, you cocksucker!" And now I'm just sounding like a Ray William Johnson or Onision fanboy. And I'm not him. I'm not that. I'm actually more mature than the average person on the internet. And then we gotta actually read the rest of this. I give this hellish load of shit a very spiteful 5 on 10. And those 5 points are only for the somewhat attractive main character, Demo, a cross between Bonnie from Ladida's Hack and the somewhat eccentric Zooey Deschanel. Update on May 28th, 2010. I don't think Demo is attractive anymore, now that I know she has no arms! Her sprite in the game makes her look like she does! Maybe that's why Rue made that video entitled, "Demo Goes on a Sad, Sad Walk." I guess Demo's sad about not having arms, and how people don't find her attractive just cause that. Seriously, would it kill you guys to make some fucking easy levels? When you download a ROM hack from Super Mario World Central, you shouldn't expect to have to open Lunar Magic and edit the level just so the goddamn game can be playable. Update on May 28th, 2010. It would appear that editing the levels in Lunar Magic is what caused half the glitches I report. That makes this hack even worse, unfortunately. SMW Central won't let me change my rating, so the 5 on 10 stands. Oh, and now I've lost a ton of respect for Super Mario World Central's own attempt at a forum team hack, Super Mario World Central production. Tags: extreme difficulty, French-Canadian, fucktards, hacking, overrated, Quebecois, Raocow, really bad game, ROMs, shit, SMW, Super Mario World Central. So yeah, I really well understand this guy's rage. Seriously, would it kill these people who have made an easier game? Oh, the difficulty curve was also my biggest complaint about this ROM hack. Not just the difficulty itself, but the difficulty curve as to how difficult one level is compared to the next. It just jumps all over the place! It's like a hyperactive kid who frickin' injected himself with sugar and cocaine, for that matter of fact. It just goes all over the frickin' place! Next thing, one level you play is hard as dinosaur fuck. The level after that is so easy, it's like taking a walk through Equestria with Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie, for God's sake! I swear, there is no structure to the difficulty curve. It doesn't even exist. It's just a bunch of random spikes and drops all throughout the whole thing. Seriously, with all the... Yeah, I did have to cut these people some slack. Some of them, it's their first time, and not everyone had fucked this up. Some people are actually, like, smart enough to make decent levels. Oh, and this was pretty much a breaking point for level design. Before ASMT and Super Mario Central Production were released, people didn't really care too much about level design. Now, it's really much looked at as a pretty important aspect of the ROM hacking industry these days. The difficulty curve, ever since ASMT and SMWCP had fucked up in that regard, they've pretty much been looking at that for quite some time now. Now, that's why things are a lot stricter on Super Mario Central these days, come to think of it. Yeah, so pretty much, ASMT's done. For now, anyway. I've given the rating, but who knows if by some miracle I may actually come back to this. And as for what I'm going to do next, maybe you guys can decide. As long as it's nothing ASMT related. No, yeah, come to think of it, these people are still making collab projects. This was the first collab project that Talkhaus had made, so that is a reason for me to cut them some slack. Though I don't want to cut them all the slack. They're still making collab projects. For example, A2MBXT is being made as of now. Considering they already made ASMBXT. And A2MT is still not done, believe it or not. They had made 2 other projects in a completely different engine. Or they're starting the second one, they have finished the first before they've even finished A2MT, which was started years ago! Just goes to show you how a baby-friendly engine can draw everyone in. Yeah, because the easier things are to do, the more people want to do it. That's just a fact of life. Honestly, do I really need to give examples? You understand this fact of life. ASMBXT was flawed on its own regards. In fact, that had a level submission criteria so low that something even as mediocre as Shoe Zone could get in. Yeah, that was just like a fucking joke, that level. Well, at least the level author understands that he did screw up, so he is going to improve, thankfully. Yeah. Talkhaus, please, if you're watching this, make sure you actually fix the difficulty and difficulty curve of your future collab hacks. Please, just do it. For the love of anyone. Just don't make another frickin' collab hack ever again if you can't get that managed. Seriously. I thought Rise of the Challenge's difficulty curve and stuff was bad. Now, the difficulty on that wasn't bad, but the curve was. Like, how the first level of the game is one of the hardest you play in a while. World 1's harder than World 2 and 3 and 4, and then we get harder with World 5. Harder with World 6 is where the difficulty begins in that ROM hack. Then World 7 is the hardest in Rise of the Challenge, and then World 8 gets easier. And then we had SMWCP, which also had a few levels that just were misplaced, and I thought that difficulty curve was so fucked up that no one would ever be able to top it, but now that I've played ASMT, it's just, wow, this takes the cake. So I'll be seeing you next time, guys. Bye, and yeah. This hack really did mess up, but I want to cut it some slack. After all, still, Raocow's an awesome Let's Player, but some of the collab hacks he's taken part in and some of the levels he has built aren't so awesome. So yeah, let's just end it here. Bye.